I mean, how, like, even if there were invaders in Nightreign, how would it even work? You know what I mean? Like, are the invaders just going to be able to choose their gear that they come in with? Because if they could, then it would be incredibly toxic because you know that they're all going to pick the most OP shit. Or what, they come in with nothing? Like, you know? Alright, let's see, what do people have? Okay. Wait, are they actually just doing the Evergaol at level 1 already? Oh, what the fuck? Okay. Sure. This is gonna end well. Yep. I mean, it is just... I hate this. Jumping R2 is so good. It has very short range. Okay, bold move, guys. You're still gonna want to go to the church anyways, though. I'm going down this way. I'm going to this church. I want to get another Evergaol key. And I need spells. Oh look, Black Flame. We have Great Heal though, which is good. Because we can use that to Oh shit, and it's a Revenant here? What? Wait. Did he die? What? Excuse me? Oh wait, it's a Scion, not a fucking Revenant. I'm an idiot. Dude, I just like see it, I'm like, oh, I'm actually so stupid, dude. Oh, fuck, I don't know. The 7% doesn't take up an inventory slot, is the thing. 11% is good, but I'm going for the long play, you know? Oh my god, these guys, I feel like we're gonna destroy the boss. These dudes. I'm gonna go to here, because I have this thing that Yeah, we definitely go to the castle. Where is it, chat? Where is it? Oh. You know, maybe I should have went up to the top. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, man. Could be good. I feel like it's not going to be, though. Yeah. Honestly, I don't think it's worth going, like, up top on Revenant. Yeah, I have the FP increase with the towers. The second tower's over here. That's actually good. I think the circle is going to go top left, maybe? Yeah, it's the rewards can be good if you're Recluse, but for Revenant, I think you're right. I don't think it's worth it. Ooh, charged incantations. Hell yeah. Oh, and they went into the illusory spot too. God damn it, Raider. Fucking Raider. You guys having fun in there? I should just ult, man. What am I doing? I'm like stun locked, dude. I really hate that there's no... There's no, like, grace to level up at. Guys, I'm not doing too much here. Fuck the damage negation. I feel like you take a lot of chip hits here anyways, so... yes, poise. Yeah, I don't really need Wrath of Gold, but it is purple. Dude, I don't know what to get rid of. I'm stun locked. I guess I don't need that. Sorry, team. No fucking this fucking bozo, dude. Teleports away like that. What a jerk. We probably could have ran over and killed it. Not that big of a deal, though. We really don't need Wrath of Gold. No. We don't have to do it. We don't have to do it. We can clear it later, guys. It's okay. Just do a little bit of damage to it. Soften it up a little bit. Is he... What is he killing? Sure. You guys want to do an Evergaol? Can do it. Oh shit, we're splitting up. This is not good. Well, whatever, it's fine. One of our teammates has the Evergaol relic, which is it's probably the Executor. See, is it this guy who has it? Yeah, it is. The Raider doesn't have the Evergaol relic, but the Executor does. This Executor's got like, yeah, the Poison Frost and then the Evergaol. It's so good. It's crazy how some characters just have like insane loadouts without like any RNG at all. I haven't used my ult a single time. I really need to use it more. I'm gonna die, fuck. Whoops, my bad, gentlemen. It ulted? Yeah, true. God damn it, Raider. You and your fucking totem, bro. Your totem has done more damage than good. Can we even critical this fucking boss? I don't think we can. I guess that was kind of stupid. I wish we had some stone sword keys. Maybe I'll go run over to this castle and grab. I'm gonna get some keys for us so we could do some Evergaols. I think that's better, maybe. Nightreign only today. No, we're gonna do some RE8 after this run, I think. I wish that you could just like leave your summon. I mean, it can kill some stuff, but it would be nice if your summon would just like keep fighting on its own somewhere. You just like use it to farm stuff. Oh, come on, man. There we go. That was pointless. You guys are doing great over there. Keep it up, champs. I'm getting another key. Fuck it. It might not be worth it. Yeah, there's 2 Evergaols inside the circle. I think we'll have time to do them. Oh, and I didn't even get a key. Bullshit. These bodies can have keys sometimes. It's so dumb that it's not like... Oh shit. Raider, buddy. You're cooked. %8 incantations is nice, but like, it's not that big of a deal. You wanna kill this guy? Oh, yeah, he had 1 hit away. Oh, that's sad. Sorry, Raider. Did we kill the boss that was there? I feel kind of bad, like I should be helping them. No fucking way he left. No fucking way he left, bro. Why are we fighting the boss outside of the circle anyways? No fucking way, dude. What a bitch. Dude, I can't believe he left. It's not that big of a deal. It's like I'm sorry I didn't, I honestly, it's my fault, I'm pretty sure, because I went over to the Evergaol and I didn't help, but like, that's so petty, dude. Like, we were not, like, it's not that big of a deal. Server issue? I really don't think so. Just given the circumstances of what happened. Yeah, he could rejoin. I'm like 99% sure he left because I didn't go help them. And I mean, I should have gone and helped them. I didn't think they were gonna commit to a boss that's outside the storm. Like, yeah, I should have came and helped, but. Let's just go. Oh shit. Can we do it, you think? Can try. Maybe if it's... Oh, it's fucking this guy. Oh, Dragonfire? I'm gonna get rid of the Wrath of Gold. It's been good, but we really don't need it that much. Oh, nice. Hmm. Oh shit, I actually died? Oh fuck. My bad. Oh, that's so good too. Okay, alright, I'm just gonna use my spells from far range. I'm just... I'm trying to go for melee. Yeah, I should have ulted as well, but... I said I was gonna just start spamming ult more, and I didn't actually start doing it. Just wish we had like a Wending Grace. Yeah, we don't want to use that. We also really don't want to use that either. Honestly, we should just spam Dragon Claw on him. I think that'll do good damage. I mean, it's okay. It does a lot of stagger too. Dude, we are cooking him. Holy shit. Dude, this raider fucking missed out. What a bitch. I can't believe he fucking left. I don't know if I should get... We have a lot of mana already. I'm still gonna take... I don't know. I don't know. The game gets easier. The thing is, if we go down, rezzing gets kind of difficult. Maybe this guy got a wending brace, though. Possible. On our teammate. Hey, buddy. Starlight shards left. Okay. Thought I was far enough to the side. Are you kidding? You just roared, bro! Oh my god, no. Oh, fuck, man. Keep it up, Linko. Oh god. I think it might be over for us, chat. Oh, he's still got a flask. Oh, the stagger. Let's go, buddy. Job, Lenko. Dude, that was well fought. That raider. Dude, that dragon claw was freaking slapping. Oh, dude, our executor had roar and breath attacks. I mean, I guess it maybe boosts his ult. Yeah, the raider left like at the end of the fucking match. It was so weird. All because they died outside the swarm. I mean, it was partially my fault, but like, I mean, it's not my fault. Like, I am the reason that he left, but it shouldn't be, you know, it shouldn't be that serious. I don't know, man. Maybe something came up, but the timing on that was a little too sus. I don't know, it doesn't matter. Anyways, it don't matter. That was a good run, man. Me and that executor fucking slapped, dude. Does he stream? I don't know, maybe. I don't know, man. I kind of want to do another one after that. That was fun. It's probably not going to go as well, though. He's addicted. I do want to finish RE8 today, though. My relics? Yeah. Actually, I should just... Yeah, the FP increase per rise. I don't know. Some people are like, "Oh, it's not worth it," but it's so nice being able to spam like high cost spells. Dude, imagine getting a relic with increased... Well, I don't know if you can get increased max FP, but like the FP increase after each rise and then also the 3+ sacred seals. The thing is, it's kind of annoying needing to pick up 3 sacred seals sometimes. I mean, it depends. I feel like most of the time you end up with 3, but... First relic over the old portrait. Is the portrait blue? The thing is, you have to... You know, what I want is strengthens family and allies, and then also defeating enemies fills more of the gauge. And then, well, like a third good effect would be nice too, but... No, the Ghost Flame Explosion is kind of shitty. Like, it does damage, but it's not that good. And I don't like the idea of losing health when I ult. I could definitely have better relics on Revenant, like 100%. The bell is good, but I don't know. You can get the Wraith Calling Bell pretty easily if you know where they're located. I mean, it's good. I feel like it's more useful for solo. No, I don't think Faith Up is worth it. Well, the Evergaol relic is definitely still like your best on Guardian, I would say. Revenant, my favorite. I don't really have a favorite. I play like a bunch of different characters. Yeah, I'm trying to see if we can get anything good. I haven't played Executor in a really long time. I don't really like Executor that much. Or I mean, I don't know. I like him, but I also don't. I wish that his moves were more useful. Like, the character is best when you don't actually use his skills. Which is kind of dumb, don't you think? I feel like you're just griefing if you're like parrying on Executor. Like you're actually just reducing the damage of your team. Like, he looks cool, yeah. Fair. Oh man, if only this was a different... Dude, like imagine this, but instead of it being... Like if this was the reflect skill, and then it also had improved guard counters, like boom, fucking Bis relic. I mean, even the strength is decent, at least. It's not like a dead roll. Oh my god, the chance of getting a good relic is just so fucking low, man. I really, like... Dude, I wish that there was a way to just make the relics that you want. You know, after a... Like, let me re-roll my relics and let me, like, spend money to do it. I mean, I know this Gamba is, like, re-rolling the relics in a way, but... Like, a way to actually guarantee that you get what you want after a specific amount of time. You can't get duplicates. I don't think that's true, but maybe it is. The thing is, assuming you can't get duplicate relics, you still run into the issue of there's like a limit on how many relics you could have in your inventory. So it's still kind of cursed. If you could get duplicates, somebody would have them by now. But like, I feel like you can get duplicates though. I swear I have multiple like one slot relics that give, you know, plus... Well, maybe not. Man, I don't know. Maybe... I mean, it's like I haven't paid enough attention. But the thing you also have to understand is there's 4 different Like, I don't know how meaningful that is. Even if, you know, you don't want to sell your relics to avoid getting dupes, you could get, there's 4 of each specific type of relic. Because since there's 4 colors, you could get, you know, a red, green, blue, yeah, you could just get, you could just end up, you would end up with so many different relics anyways. I don't think it makes like a meaningful difference. The relics are melting my brain. Should be able to equip 5 relics. I mean, I would have loved if they went harder on like the relics and stuff and let players get more. But from a balance perspective, like giving the players too much stuff could lead to like really broken things happening, I guess. Spent 160k merc yesterday buying and reselling and buying till you got to 0, not 1 god roll out of it. Yeah. Honestly, it's kind of cheesy, but I just make a save file and just spend all the merc. And then if I don't get something good, I just reload the save. Mainly just because going, like, selling all of the relics just to buy more is so fucking annoying. Like, you end up selling and then buying, like, 15 fucking times in a row. I just can't even be bothered. How do you make a save file? You just back up your save data. I mean, every single game that you have ever played has a save, well, except for like MMOs, has a locally stored save file on your computer. No, I'm pretty sure you can make save files on console as well. You should be able to. Unless they somehow, like, prevent you on console. But I kind of doubt that. No, you definitely can get your saves on console because people are cheating. And they wouldn't be able to cheat without accessing their save data. So... Wait, is there a PS4 version of this game? I didn't know that, actually. Can only cheat on PS4. Alright, guys, let's do one more run. It's only been an hour. Well, my stream went down earlier. One more run, 10 minutes of talking about how things could be better. Relic Gamba, one more run. Yeah. No. Surely this is the last run, for real. Freerin Dong Lao. No follow. Interesting. Come on, guys. We can do the Evergaol. It's only level 2. Alright, fine. Evergaol afterwards. Evergaol after. Surely they'll follow me. I'm kind of laggy in this one. Which one will dist force to DC this time? Oh fuck, we just fought these guys, man. Why is she AFK? What is going on? What? Oh, bro. Where the fuck's our teammate? Oh, he's fighting the guy over there. What the? How'd you get so far away, dude? Alright, sure, let's go to the church. I need to go to a church. I'm gonna have to go to this church afterwards. Can do it. Early. Maybe we don't do that, Evergaol. I don't know. Alright, guys, we can do it. Surely this won't end in disaster. I wish I had a fucking spell, dude. I'm so, like, fucking useless. Oh, wait. I do have Black Flame. You're right. Sorry. Had a little Dentka moment. Oh shit. Let's go to church. Oh, you guys are killing that? I'm dead. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Guys, the fucking lion ain't worth it. Damn it, fucking should have just went to the church, dude. Oh, they fucked us. Oh, they fucked it so bad, dude. Why did they go for the lion? Oh my god, I should have just left them. We're so fucking cooked, dude. Oh, and the oh, fuck, dude. Why, guys? Why did we do this? We're just gonna end up so under-leveled now, though. Because now we need to go get our fucking runes back. Or, I mean, I don't know if we should get our runes back, but I'm going to. Oh man, it's just if they just went to the church, we could have killed the oracles. Everything would have been fine. Now we're barely gonna be able to do anything. Maybe I shouldn't go back for these, honestly. Oh, it's 40,000 though. I'm not leaving. I'm not a fucking quitter. I have like no mana now. Honestly, dude, we probably should have skipped the Evergaol. I wasn't even able to get the Sorcerer's Rise either. there, guys. I don't even know why I dropped that. Can't crit this boss. We can recover this. It's really not that big of a deal. That did suck though. We'll be okay. What is with the graces breaking like that sometimes? Well, we can hit the Sorcerer's Rise at least. Definitely gonna do that. That grace is always like that? No, it's not. I mean, sometimes it is, but not always. Alright, well, level 8 could be worse. %5 improved incantations. Wow. Stacked. I wish I had my heal. Dang it. He tried to bait it in. I applaud the attempt. Dude, Dragon Claw is so amazing. It does so much poise damage. should be close to staggering. They both got grabbed, and now my ult got nulled. Kill him, guys. Before I die, quick. What? I fucking hate these watchdogs. Kind of annoying. Where the fuck am I going? Okay. Right into it, dude. Yeah, some of the balancing is kind of questionable. Do any of them have the Evergaol relic? No. Duchess is missing a fucking relic? What the? That's not good, Duchess. Oh, no fucking way. I'm gonna ult. Don't target me. Loretta is very tanky, but she drops legendaries a lot of the time, as you can see. Damage negation at full health is pretty nice. Just grab that. Ooh, I'm gonna go snag this key. Is this gonna be much of a snag? Not really. My team is fine, alright? Be nice. Yeah, Wilder does not know to pick up multiple weapons. Oh, dear God. Okay, we're going to the church. Wait. I think Duchess knows at least. Duchess has like 4 weapons. A ringing sound? I don't know. I think my game's like bugged or something. That's the game. I think it's like some effect. That miss me. Yeah, we kind of just need to go finish the castle. Yeah, it is gone now. Weird. I need to get this Dragon Maw upgraded, because this thing is... I think this thing is what we want to do damage with. Frederick, it just keeps hitting. Frederick stuns Tree Sentinel like every time he hits him, which is crazy. I'm gonna die. Oh, never mind. Frederick hit him out of the air. Oh. Oh, come on, it's what I wanted to give it to the fucking Wilder. God damn it, dude. That Ash of War has got to be so good. Because I think the skill on it. I think the skill, yeah, Wilder got a legendary weapon, so he doesn't care. I need to go into the mine so I can upgrade this Dragon Maw. I'm going in the cave. Oh, I think Duchess is going for her runes. You're so fucking annoying. Stop stomping. You take so many chip hits anyways. I need the Starlight Shards. Although, well, I don't know. Maybe I don't need this. I do already have 6 Starlight Shards, and I'd be able to buy 2 more, so maybe I should have kept the aromatics. It doesn't really matter. It don't. Oh yeah. Good idea. Kill this boss. Poor fucking Vike's War Spear. Oh, wait. Picked it back up. Wait, did Wilder grab it? Oh my god, Wilder has it! I don't know if he's gonna use it, but he picked it up. Okay, well we have +2 spell casting speed now. That's nice. Lightning charm. I know I have Black Flame, but I don't know. Dragon Maul was actually pretty fucking good. The last run we did. Yo, he's using the fucking War Spear. Come on, use the ult. Use the weapon art. Chill, bro. Oh my god, you're crazy. Crazy little snake. Prop this guy up. Oh shit. I might be dead. I'm not doing affinity. You know what? I'm gonna get stance breaking. I'm the fucking stance breaker revenant this time. It's okay. Okay, you know what? I'll grab it. I'll grab him. It's okay. It's okay. I have 8 starlight shards, man. I've got enough. Use the weapon art, Wilder. Stop fucking meleeing it, dude. No, Frederick is getting killed! Aw, really? Oh no, not the beam! No, no, no! Oh, thank you guys. I think we should kill the centipede guys, not... Or the scorpion. No, it's fine. I'm keeping the scorpion busy. Why am I attacking this guy? Oh shit. Can I rot it? The rotted enough. Oh god. Thank you, free room. Oh, not this fucking move. Oh, he falls down after that, like, hard. Oh. Okay, I'm just gonna ult. Just fucking destroy him, guys. Maybe I'm gonna regret ulting there. Giving damage to the team, though. Really, it's fine. Wilder. No follow YouTube. That is that his name?
Hey.
Hey. Has the Wilder ever ulted? Yeah, he used it a decent bit, I think. So many doubters, I know, right? Five more runs, please. I mean, this is Frenzy Flame and the enemies. I guess it's I'll hold on to it. Why not? All right, I will be right back, chat.